I'm Emma Davis, and you're watching the AU Review at Canadian Music Week.
It's your first time here?
It is. First time in Canada, completely.
So how's this side of the world treating you?
I really love it so far. I spent sort of the last month in New York, so it was a little bit more intense, and it's kind of welcomed break coming to Canada. There's something about it. It's a lot more chilled out. Everyone's a little bit friendlier, and yeah, there's something a bit easier about it, I think. So.
Ain't a bad thing.
No, it's nice. It's really nice.
So what were you getting up to the last month in New York?
I sort of took a little break. I wanted to write some music. I knew I was coming over to Canada, and I sort of wanted to make the most of coming to this side of the world. I also used to live in America, in Boston, so it was good to see some old musical friends. Just kind of hanging out, getting to know Brooklyn, because it's a part of New York I've not really spent that much time in. So.
And definitely the more creative side of the city.
Yeah, exactly. And I've been working a lot, kind of doing other things, and not kind of having quite as much time for music as I wanted. So it was just a chance to catch up and
focus in. Yeah,
and travel. I think it's always good to get out of your bubble and see something new.
You've got to find inspiration somewhere.
Well, exactly. So it's good.
So when it comes to that and to your music at the moment, what's encompassing your shows right now?
I think it's funny because I haven't really been focusing on my shows very much recently. I put out an album a few years ago and sort of played the hell out of that. Did as many shows as I could and got a few tour supports and kind of pushed it. And then it got to the point where I was like, okay, I need to write something new. So that's kind of what's been taking over the last year or something. Just trying to write and kind of get enough to get back into the studio. So that's just sort of started. I got back into the studio at the end of last year and put down a couple of tracks, and then I'm just going to keep working on that when I get back. So.
Are we hearing some of those over here? Are you trying to sneak them in?
Yeah, a few. Yeah, about 3 or 4 songs in my set will be new stuff, and then obviously some of the golden oldies as well. But yeah, and it'll be pretty stripped back because I'm playing solo. So the record's actually sounding a little bit fuller and slightly more experimental than the last record. So it'll be, my solo show is always kind of a different experience, but I try and just kind of adapt and bring something slightly new to it.
So what happens after here? Where are you off to? What are you doing?
I'm going to spend a little bit of extra time in Toronto and kind of just soak up the new place, and then maybe go to Montreal as well, and then head back to Australia and get straight back into the studio, I think.
Straight back into the swing of things.
Yeah, I have to kind of force myself with these things sometimes. Give myself a deadline, otherwise I could kind of just meander around for a while and kind of not get it done. So yeah, last single that I put out in November, I booked in a week of recording without really having anything ready, and then it kind of forced me to get into gear and do it all. So yeah, I think I'll have to do that with myself again.
Fair enough. We got to do it somehow.
Yes. Yeah, I think that's it. Working out what kind of works for you.
And we're here at Canadian Music Week. I mean, there's 28 Australian bands playing here, which is pretty extraordinary.
Yeah.
And what's your vibe about the Australian contingency here this year?
I think it's great. I mean, this is my first showcase festival, so it's really the first time that I've sort of, in any sense, represented Australia somewhere else. I've actually just become fully Australian as well in the last few months, because I'm originally from the UK. So I don't know, it feels really good to sort of be part of a little team over here. But yeah, the Showcase Festival, it's new. It's not just a festival. You're not just showing up and playing a stage with a crowd that's already existent. You kind of need, it's more work, and you're meeting people and you're getting a feel for it. But it's such a new thing to me that I just kind of want to meet as many people as I can and set myself up for a revisit, within a year or something.
Perfect.
Yeah.
And I guess, are there any shows or anything like that we need to plug back home? Is there anything happening that we should mention?
No shows booked in. No, just keeping an eye out for the new record, and as soon as I've got it, I'm going to put another single out quite soon and just kind of keep people interested.